from the first basket to the biggest baskets.
For almost 30 years, the Sacramento Kings have been our Kings. They've made us cheer and made us cry.
Jerry, all I can say to you is thank you.
Well, thank you.
For the past 2 years, we've wondered, will they stay or will they go?
After Here We Stay, Here We Build, Here We Buy, and Here We Purple is tonight when we say, here they go. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Fox 40 News at 5:30. Steph Cruz and myself are just outside of Sleep Train Arena because it is a huge night for the Sacramento Kings, a huge night for the city of Sacramento because it is the last game of the season for the Kings, and although it sort of hurts me a little bit for these words to come out of my mouth, it could be potentially the last game that the Kings ever play in the city of Sacramento.
Yeah, there's certainly that uncertainty hovering, and we hope that is not the case, but we are ending this season not knowing what is coming next. We're outside, but we'll go now to Jim and Christina inside. This game starts at 7:30 against the Clippers, guys.
7:30, last game of the season. Some of the clips on the floor. Some of the Kings have already been out and going back to the locker room for now. Won't be too long, though, before both teams take the floor. It's going to be a very interesting and probably emotional night.
Emotional, yeah. It better not be the last game. I can't imagine that it will be the last game. I'm ready for that new arena sometime, but yeah, we're just going to have to get through this.
And there is also some big news out of New York City today that we will get to as well that could impact the future of this team. So we've got all that covered from the court here at Sleep Train. Steph and Eric.
All right, and guys, you should be seeing these fans coming in momentarily because we're just starting to see some people roll into the parking lot, and you'll see them within the next couple of minutes. But we are handling it here outside. We've got this Kings game covered from every aspect, inside and outside as well. We've also got you covered 3,000 miles away in New York. Eric Rucker is there covering everything in terms of what's going on with the NBA and their decision making. A lot happening today. Here's what he has to tell us about what happened with the NBA meeting in that committee this afternoon.
And 9 out of the 12 NBA owners on that relocation committee met here in New York for about 4 hours. And when it was done, they said they were not even close to making a decision on whether the team will go to Seattle or stay in Sacramento. NBA Commissioner David Stern spoke briefly afterwards to the media from both cities, saying that it comes down to the same issues: arena, financing, real estate, everything that they've been talking about up to this point. And he says do not expect a decision anytime soon.
The likelihood is that we're going to have another committee meeting, either personally or more likely by teleconference, sometime towards the end of next week, at which time they will make a final determination, or likely make a final determination, and then issue a report, which under our Constitution requires 7 business days for the board to have it and to study it. I would be charitable to say the first week in May, but it could slide a bit. That's where we are.
And so we wait because Eric Rucker is there in New York, although this week there is going to be no decision from the Board of Governors about the fate of the Kings. The fans have been extremely passionate, though. And we have some video from 2 years ago when we thought they may be leaving, that same uncertainty. Fans wouldn't leave that final game of the season.
Yeah, and that's when this whole Anaheim thing popped up as to whether or not the Kings were going to travel to Anaheim. I actually went to Anaheim to cover the city council meeting, and it was amazing because at that meeting, they were very, very confident. And it wasn't long after that, just a couple of weeks, that all of that crumbled right underneath them.
Yes, so it's been inspiring, the fan support here, and I bet we're going to see that here tonight. It starts at 7:30, the game does, and who knows, are they going to, if they'll stay well after the game, cheering and showing their support for this team.
A show of support once again, and Jim and Christina again inside. Both of you guys, I know that you remember that night that we were just describing with those fans staying in this building, because it was such an opportunity for these fans to show this area how much their team means to them.
There's no question the team means a lot to Sacramento, and in a lot of different ways. I mean, there are a lot of basketball fans here who just love the Kings because they're NBA, the top level of basketball in the world, but it means a lot to the city as well in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I mean, I can personally remember coming here as a kid and watching games sitting up way up high. So for me, it's about being a fan. But as you mentioned, it's much more to our city if we can get an arena and build around it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a new tax base downtown. It really could revitalize downtown. And that's been Kevin Johnson's speech since the beginning. This is about more than just basketball.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about a game from way back
How
now,
about
right?
the very first game? The very first game ever played in Sacramento by the Sacramento Kings at the old arena, Arco number 1 on North Market. And our reporter Lonnie Wong filed this story that night.